What's going on, y'all? Back with another one. We got ranking each first round's quarterback situation. This is by KTO. Shout out to KTO. Let's see where his head at on this here. I kind of wanted to make one of these ranking videos, but only got 24 hours in the day, and I got a lot to do. So
the 2024 NFL Draft was insane. 6 quarterbacks were selected in the top 12, each landing in unique places that have their pros and cons.
I will be pausing and giving my thoughts. So if you don't want to pause, I don't want to deal with it.
Now, the truth for these guys is it's often just as much about where you land as it is how talented you are. So in today's video, I want to investigate each first-round rookie quarterback.
If I had to rank them, honestly, I might put Michael Penix. Well, I'm gonna check out his perspective, but Michael Penix, his situation probably will be at the bottom for immediate success, but long-term success. But I mean, like, probably immediate success, like at the bottom. But I mean, they could set him up for the future nicely.
Situation and rank it on a tier list. Now, the draft itself set an all-time record for draft attendance, with over 700,000 people
That's crazy
over the course of the 3 days. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of it, courtesy of today's video sponsor, SeatGeek, and the Arizona Cardinals.
Hey.
SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the Arizona Cardinals. They hooked me up with some free gear.
That's pretty fire.
This KTO Cardinals jersey, which was sick. And for the event itself, there was a ton of activities to keep us busy.
That throw.
We even got to tour backstage. And for the draft itself, we were lucky enough to be sitting in the draft theater and witness the action up close. I even ran into Ray Finkel. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events every.
All right, W ad. Congrats, KTO. Let's get to this money.
Overall picks go, this is about as favorable as it gets. Normally, the team picking here was atrocious the previous season, but the Bears were a 7-win team last year, with the major concern really being at quarterback.
Yo, the Bears prepared for. It's kind of tough how they did Justin Fields, but they prepared for Caleb Williams very nicely. Like they added some nice weapons to that offense, man.
The roster had some promising pieces in 2023, which will still be a part of the team in 2024, including wide receiver DJ Moore and tight end Cole Kmet, who both proved extremely effective in the pass game. And throughout this offseason, the Bears have really bolstered the.
Yo, imagine. Now, this would have been crazy, but imagine they drafted Marvin Harrison Jr. 1 and got Brock Bowers in 9.
His offense with multiple weapons, including veteran Keenan Allen, running back DeAndre Swift, tight end Gerald Everett, and wide receiver Rome.
Oh, they got Gerald Everett,
who they used their other first-round pick on. Also, they added depth to the offensive line, which should be at least average if they can stay healthy in 2024. Now, on the flip side, it is Chicago. They have struggled offensively for most of their modern history. But with that said, Caleb is easily one of the most talented quarterbacks this organization has ever had. Also, things do change, and I like this situation a lot. The team hired offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, who proved himself to be able to revive Geno Smith in Seattle. Factoring in a favorable offensive situation alongside Caleb's outstanding talent, I'll give his situation an A tier. Honestly, this might be the best situation a #1 overall quarterback has had that I could remember. With the #2,
you giving Caleb a A. I would assume nobody else is getting an S because I can't think of anybody else who's in a better offensive position than that. Off top of the head, I can't think. I mean, well, JJ McCarthy. Who do they have at running back? Oh, they got Aaron Jones. Well, he don't got a bad situation actually. You get Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones. I don't know who they 3 is. I can't remember. But I mean, that's not bad.
Overall pick, Washington fans are seeing 2012 deja vu with Jaden Daniels. As Washington is not that bad of a situation for being the second pick.
You said they're seeing 2012 deja vu. Are they referring to RG3? Is that what you referring to?
Pick, Washington fans are seeing 2012 deja vu
Oh,
with
okay.
Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels. As Washington is not that bad of a situation for being the second pick. However, it's not as impressive as Chicago. Last season, they struggled offensively.
I think Jaden's
We saw
a
most of
better
the
runner
coaching
than
staff get
RG3.
fired. The team hired defensive-minded Dan Quinn as the head coach and brought in Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator, which will be a good fit for Jaden Daniels. Outside of Terry McLaurin, their weapons offensively are average. They brought in Austin Eckler and Zach Ertz, which are decent, but are not huge splash signings by any means. This team will be somewhat of a wild card, since their offense will look so much different, going from that West Coast style with Sam Howell to an air raid RPO style with Jaden Daniels. But one of the biggest issues this team will have is figuring out how they're going to manage on the offensive line. At the end of 2023, the Commanders had one of the worst O-lines in the league, and they cut their best offensive lineman in the offseason. With no clear answer at left tackle for now, they project as one of the worst O-lines entering 2024, which spells disaster for a rookie quarterback. I like
That is
Daniels
very
the
bad.
player, but I think this first year might be tough considering the O-line and the average pieces around him. So this situation lands in C tier.
That's tough, man. That could be like a another Justin Fields situation. I like Jaden Daniels as a thrower. I mean, I like Justin Fields as a thrower when he came into the league, but it's kind of tough, man. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you get drafted high in the draft for a reason because the team is not good. Everybody can't have a Caleb Williams situation. I'm not gonna lie, Drake May situation is underrated.
With the third overall pick, the New Era Patriots selected Drake May, the most prototypical quarterback of the class, considering his size and arm talent. Honestly, I feel bad for May. He's perhaps the most raw of these first-round quarterbacks
Feel bad for
and
him.
needing the time to learn. Yet, he's going to the worst situation of all the quarterbacks and will probably start day one. There's just hardly anything positive to say about this situation. They were arguably the worst offense last season.
I mean, I assume something may have changed around this year, regardless of what they did last season. I mean, there was no clear number one receiver. I mean, and they didn't have a clear number one quarterback either. I mean, they switched out their quarterback, I think, at least twice last year. Went back and forth with Mac Jones. So I mean, I don't know. I think his situation might be a little better than Jaden Daniels.
And they did
Okay, Jaden does have a number one receiver. I'm trying to think, but I like the depth of the receiving core. Like with the rookie receivers that the Patriots added, I like the depth of their receiving core right now. You got Ramondre Stevenson at running back, and I think they signed another running back. Who did they sign? Patriots for sure signed another running back this offseason. I don't think their O-line is just terrible. Let me see. And again, this is his opinion. It's my opinion, you know. You got Tyquan Thornton still, Juju, Jalen Rager, Jalen Polk, KJ Osborne, Demario Douglas. Just right here. Jalen Polk, KJ Osborne, Demario Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, Javon Baker. You got a lot of depth there. Demario was the go-to receiver when Kendrick Bourne went down. They're going to figure out who their number one receiver is this year. They're going to figure that out. I believe so. But even this here, Javon Baker, Demario Douglas, and Jalen Polk, you got, bro, like, there's talent here. There's definitely talent here. No, you don't know who your number one is, but it's a deep receiving core.
didn't add any pieces in free
Oh,
agency.
running back. That was the whole purpose of me pausing it. Running back. Oh, they signed Antonio Gibson. Yeah. Bro, that's not bad. You got Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. That's not bad. All right. All right. I forgot they signed Jacoby Brissett. They got Jacoby Brissett. Oh yeah, never mind, never mind. Think about the Browns.
Agency that make you go, wow, this team looks so much better. Their best receivers entering 2024 are Kendrick Bourne, who had 400 yards last year, and second
Kendrick got hurt though.
Jalen Polk, who might be good, but is a rookie. With a first-time
Mario Douglas is solid, super solid.
Hardly any weapons that have proven to be good, and worst of all, an offensive line that doesn't project well entering 2024, there is going to be some serious growing pains. They do have Jacoby Brissett, and hopefully he can somewhat shoulder the load during this rough transition period. But either way, Drake May's situation goes in D tier.
What do y'all think? Y'all agree with that? Low key, I'm not gonna lie again. Like I said, I like Drake situation a little more than I like Jaden's. That's just my opinion. I think the main thing Jaden has over him is a number one receiver. Outside of that, though, I like Drake's situation. Running back, I take Ramondre Stevenson, healthy Ramondre Stevenson over Brian Robinson, for sure.
With the 8th pick in the 2024
this is interesting.
draft, the Atlanta Falcons select
This is
Michael
interesting.
Jr.
Well, there it is.
Quarterback, Washington.
When the Falcons selected Penix Jr.,
You know, Mike didn't even care. He was just happy.
after signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal
This
in
is
free agency
so
and
wild.
parading him around town, the Falcons went ahead and drafted another quarterback in the top 10. There will be some awkward team dynamics considering the relationship between Cousins and the front office, but this video's purpose is to analyze the situation for Penix himself. Out of all the first-round quarterbacks, Penix will probably sit the longest unless an injury takes place. Although he has been described as one of the most plug-and-play guys because of experience, it's not a bad thing in the NFL to sit for a year and learn the ropes from a veteran. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Jordan Love are great examples of this playing out effectively. This seems like one of the most sound strategies in terms of building up a young quarterback.
You know, okay, he's 24. So he'll sign a 4-year contract. So I think Kirk is under a 3-year contract. Could be wrong, but let's go with some assumptions here. Kirk is under a 3-year contract. Penix is going to sign a 4-year deal. Typically, rookies sign 4-year deals. So they're gonna go off for 1 active year, and then they're gonna be forced to pay him big money before he's even like based off of 1 year, which is tough. But I mean, hey, they say they believe in him.
But we just see the impatience set in too often, and guys are thrust into the starting role. The worry here is that with a new coach,
Was that DeShone Kizer?
including a first-time head coach and first-time offensive coordinator, you just don't know what you're gonna get. They could have a whole new staff by the time Penix plays. But as of right now, Atlanta has some nice offensive pieces in a weak division, including Drake London, Bijan Robinson, new signee Daryl Mooney, and perhaps the revival of Kyle Pitts with a better quarterback under center. Plus, they project to have a top 5 offensive line entering 2024. So if Penix does see the field, it's a hugely favorable situation. This one's a bit of an unknown, but assuming Penix sits at least a year, I will give this situation.
You know, even if Penix, I mean, obviously he's going to sit. But let's say Kirk gets hurt. That's actually not a bad situation to be in. If Kirk gets hurt, you got Bijan, Tyler Algier, Rondell Moore, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, whoever else they signed, Kyle Pitts. I mean, you got some weapons. I think they could have. They did pick up a receiver in the 6th round that I like. I like that guy. He's pretty nice. Casey Washington. I don't know, but I think they could have picked up like a primary receiver, like when it got one of those guys. Again, I don't know who else they drafted. Well, since we're talking about it, let me just check. Let me stop. Let's go ahead and look at it. Atlanta. They got Casey in the 6th round. That's it. Yeah, I think they could have got one of them receivers. But I mean, they boosted that defense. They got a DT, outside linebacker, another DT, another DT, another linebacker, or inside linebacker. So, mm,
A B tier. JJ McCarthy couldn't have asked for a better situation. Minnesota is the most stable organization offensively out of all these teams that picked a quarterback, considering Kevin O'Connell has been the head coach for years and is seen as a promising young head coach. And also, their offensive coordinator has been there the past 2 years. Stability does wonders for a franchise. This offense has been built for Kirk Cousins, which is great for a guy like McCarthy. He doesn't have the same ceiling as the other quarterbacks, but shows promise as a game manager type.
I did not take this into consideration or think about this really.
Will have incredible weapons, including the best receiver in the league, Justin Jefferson, a solid number 2, Jordan Addison, and an amazing receiving tight end, TJ Hawkinson from last season.
Forgot about TJ.
Also, they signed running back Aaron Jones and did bring in a veteran quarterback in Sam Darnold, so they can always start with him first and work in McCarthy whenever they feel it's time. Also, they have a projected top 10 offensive line. So honestly, it doesn't get much more favorable than this. I don't think he'll be the best quarterback of the bunch, but he certainly has the best and most stable situation.
This is very unexpected. I did not expect this ranking to be like this here. But he got some solid arguments. He definitely got some solid arguments. I can't agree with Drake's situation being the worst. Like I think we can argue. You can argue it. You can hit it different ways where he could be ranked higher, but I mean, he got definitely some solid points.
So I'm gonna put his situation in S tier. This last one's interesting. It's the one.
But sorry, y'all. That was a short intermission, right? The short pause right there. But I do like the idea of him putting that in perspective. The Vikings having stability at the coaching positions, as well as them having a top offensive line. And when you put it into perspective, you're putting JJ McCarthy in the position of Kirk Cousins, which is, I mean, like you said, kind of similar style game manager. I mean, Kirk is a good quarterback, but I mean, that's what it was. And it's JJ can low-key do more because he's mobile. So he can get out the pocket and make certain throws that Kirk was completely unable to make. So it's very, very interesting to think about.
Unsure about. Nix was the least desired of the top 6. But those who defended him comped him to Drew Brees for his decision-making and short area accuracy. Obviously, anytime you're compared to a Hall of Famer, you're set up to fail. But not talking about the level of play, and more about the style of play, and you get what Sean Payton likes in a quarterback. A guy who can take the snap, make his read, and get the ball out quickly. Obviously, the difference was that Drew Brees had multiple pro seasons under his belt when he joined forces with Peyton, whereas Nix is a rookie. I think Denver does have some good pieces offensively. Also, I believe this roster will be one of the weaker ones of the 6 for the next few years, considering how much they're eating in the dead cap because of Russell Wilson.
It's wild.
They will have an
so wild to me.
line, and their offensive weapons are promising, but they won't be the most spectacular offense in the world. Because Sean Payton has proven his ability to elevate quarterbacks, Nix is in good hands. I just feel like there will be at least some growing pains in year 1. I'll put his situation in B tier.
A B?
Play action and boats. Nix taking the deep shot for Johnson. How about that? Brothers, touchdown.
A B. It's interesting. All right, well, shout out to KTO, man. Good bit, my guy. Even though I may not agree with all of this, there were extremely valid points. Some very, very valid points. I don't know about this. This B for Bo Nix. Let me see. Like if we go off of weapons, like I don't. I mean, yeah, they got Cortland Sutton. Outside of that, though, who else do they have on the offensive side of the ball? Tim Patrick coming back. They got Marvin Mims. He's pretty solid. Oh, they didn't really pick up a lot of receivers. That's odd. I mean, nah, that's wild. You gotta pick up some receivers. Tim Patrick is 2 back-to-back seasons injured. Missed 2 seasons off of injuries. Cortland Sutton, I like him a lot, but I can't remember the last time he played a full season. Josh Reynolds that's a solid signing. That'd be a solid number 2. Marvin Mims, you got him too. I mean, it's a little depth there, but I don't know. I probably would have. Oh, they did. They drafted. What's his name? Why do I not see his name up here? I guess they drafted his teammate. Okay, never mind. So they at least got one rookie. Javonte Williams. Oh, they're not showing the rookies on here. They're definitely not showing rookies. Okay, because they signed Audric Estime as well. Well, drafted him. All right, y'all convince me. Let me know. Hit the like button. Appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe. Stay tuned. Stay blessed.